Hi guys, Greg at Best Choice Trailers. Today we're going to take a walk around a Trac 102 by 22 foot, 15,000 pound rated Trac Gooseneck hydraulic tilt Deckover. Let's take a walk around the trailer. We'll show you some of the standard features on this particular unit, as well as some of the options we've equipped on this trailer. Starting out up front, it's got a 2 5/16 inch gooseneck ball, which is pretty standard in the industry. It's got your spring-loaded handle. Of course, you've got your 2 set bolts on your neck, and then it's got a fully sealed wire harness, and then this has the standard 7-pin blade. That's pretty much what's found on most all modern pickup trucks. Up front, you've got your safety breakaway cable, as well as your integrated safety chains. One thing Trac does a little different than some in the industry, this unit's got the I-beam neck, both the vertical and the horizontal. It's got an integrated gusset in the neck, and you'll notice behind the gusset plate, it is fully seam welded, both inside and outside. You've also got your reinforcement underneath the neck as well. Also on the neck, you've got your support gusset going from the vertical to horizontal. And then the bulkhead was redesigned about a year or so ago. Gives it a nice clean look. Certainly in a gooseneck in down position, bulkhead isn't necessarily needed, but in the up position, it simply stop your bucket or your tires or whatnot from going forward. Now, in this frame right here, I'm going to show you 3 different options, the only 3 options that we put on this trailer. You'll notice first it's got dual hydraulic jack landing gear. Just makes hooking up a breeze on this particular unit, and we'll show you that in a second. On Deckover tilts, we do a high percentage of winch plates on these. This one, we pretty much on Tracs do winch plate standard on most all of them, while technically not a standard feature. And then also we do the rough cut oak decking. Gives it a nice heavy duty deck, very durable. Also gives you a little bit better traction on these. So one of the only things on a Deckover tilt we've ever really heard customer complaints on, not necessarily from Trac, but we have another vendor. You'll find in the industry there's different placements of the axle. Trac and another one of our brands put the axles about 1.5 feet farther ahead of our third brand. Trac's going to net about a 15-degree load angle, which is a very user-friendly angle. It does put your axles, like I said, about 1.5 feet farther ahead of our third brand, which customers did complain a little bit over the ramp angle. So again, if you're looking at a Deckover tilt, that would be one of the important criteria on these. Certainly want to keep your load a little bit front heavy. I wouldn't say you can't use the back part of the tail, but certainly you'd want to be cautious as to where you would put your weight. Double-edged sword, put your axles too far back, you have too steep of an angle. Put your axles too far forward and you don't load properly, could create issues. They seem to have this balanced pretty well. I haven't had customers complain about axle placement, just wanted to make you aware. But again, a lot of customers do put the winches on, so we do the winch plate on most of ours here. So again, let's take a look at the toolbox area here. So it is a full toolbox. That is made possible by the depth of the I-beam on the neck. So you can charge the battery simply off house current to the 110 volt charger. It's got a built-in lock on the box. 110 volt charger is standard equipment. It's got a group 24 deep cycle battery. Now you're going to see some wires coming off the battery besides going over to the pump. That is for your 110 volt charger, and then this unit's also going to charge directly off your truck. You're going to get about a 3.7 amp hour auxiliary line charge. A couple different ways to set these hydraulics up. This one has a diverter valve, which means you can go up or down, and that's going to adjust the flow of your fluid on the hydraulic system. And then you simply have 2 buttons on your remote. Fairly simple setup. A couple of the user-friendly features we can appreciate on the Trac: dual side steps, and if you look, they very intentionally put cleats on there. We see different designs. This one here works very well. As small as those cleats are, they do grab very nicely on your shoe or boot. More tie downs on this than most. This one's got the 6 D-rings in standard placement, and then also rub rail, stake pocket, and chain spools. Stake pockets are roughly on 2-foot centers, and then your chain spool, roughly you got a tie down point on these every foot, in addition to the rub rail running the whole length. 235 ADR 16 10-ply load range E radial tires, standard equipment. This also has a slipper spring suspension with a wet bolt kit. Wet bolt kit's not typically standard, but they do them on these. Just gives you some lubrication to your slipper spring. Also, the green cap, this is a nitrogen-filled tire. Nitrogen, if you're not familiar, is much drier than traditional air that would come out of your air compressor. Simply gives you longer longevity, or one of the benefits certainly to nitrogen. You get more longevity out of the tire before you get any dry rot, because it's not there's not humidity inside the tire itself. This has the silver wagon wheels. This has the newer style forward adjusting brakes, which self-tension your brakes. Very limited maintenance required on these brakes. And then behind your black cap there would be your Easy Lube hubs. Sometimes they're cooperative, a little too cold out today, but flat-bladed screwdriver, you peel it off, take a grease gun, and you can do your bearing maintenance pretty quick. This does have the new bullet-style LED lights. While small in size, they do give you quite a bit of light. So this unit's 22-foot length, approximately 3 foot of that's going to be your tail, so about 19 roughly on your wood deck. Couple things we appreciate about the way Trac does these. One, on your spring-loaded light bar, this unit's got some extra lights. You've got your center markers and then your stop-turn tails, an extra set of stop-turn tails, and an extra marker. Also, more importantly, issues that we've seen other manufacturers, they do a little bit better on these. You've got structure running all the way back on a traditional center. So you've got a 2x2 stud running almost all the way back to the back end of the trailer. And then little details like how the spring light bar are mounted, you'd be surprised. I've seen some interesting ideas. Very clean design, very well put together on little details like that. Also, I don't know if you caught underneath here, but this is tube. Your side rail's running all the way back is 2x6 box tube. Tube pound per pound is going to give you the most strength per pound. A lot of side rails on other trailers, regular flatbed trailers will be channel, but on tilt trailers where you're trying to maximize strength, a lot of times you will get a tube side rail. So one nice thing we like up front here, where the neck gussets are, not only do you get that strength, transfer and load, but you've also got your crossbars in the neck, and then you've also got your spare tire mount in the neck. Let's go ahead and put the deck up here for you. It's another beautiful, beautiful day in Pennsylvania. You'll notice this unit is a dual piston. This unit is a dual piston lift. It's going to be a very stable lift. On a 22-foot trailer, tends to be plenty. Your push point's about 5 foot from the front of the deck. On the longer decks, we do like to do a scissor hoist. Gives you more stroke. On a 24-foot with a scissor hoist, generally it's going to mount about 1.5 feet, 2 foot back. And also on the higher GVWs, we do like to go to the scissor. On this length in a 15K, the dual piston does seem to be like more than enough hoist. This unit is also equipped with a 10-inch I-beam frame. If you look around the industry, you'll find about half seem to be built on an 8-inch I-beam, half seem to be built on the 10-inch I-beam. This is the 10-inch. It's also got cross members on roughly 16-inch centers. You'll notice, as necessary, They are doubled up a little bit closer, right near the top and bottom of your critical areas. Sealed wiring harness. See the blue harness running back, the trailer frame, junction box wiring up front, the passenger side, or driver's side, I'm sorry. Let's walk back to the light bar. You can see it's nestled all the way up in. Take a look at your load angle. So on a Deckover tilt, normally you get a little bit of a blunt edge. We looked underneath. It is a 2x2 tube, so you got roughly a 2-inch edge at the back. I have yet to have anybody that couldn't load up what they wanted with that little bit of a lip. Again, nice, reasonable 15-degree load angle. Now on this tilt, like most all your Deckover tilts, of course, both tires will be on the ground. This isn't like a car hauler tilt where your front axle lifts. These units are available in a bumper pull and a gooseneck. In a gooseneck model like seen here, it's going to weigh in at about 5,000 pounds. It's going to give you a net legal payload of about 9,000 on the trailer side, plus you're going to pick up your pin weight on the gooseneck ball. If you need additional payload, we can do these in the 8,000 pound axles. Generally, we stock those into 24 and 26 foot length. Normally 22, 24s with the 7K axles, and then a little bit longer when we go to the heavier running gear. I want to show you the diverter valve here. So right now it's down. We're going to pull it up. When we pull it up now, we'll notice the jacks. So again, very simple to operate. Hydraulic jacks certainly make it very easy to use. So again, it's a short track Deckover tilt. Shown here is a 22 foot with the dual piston lift. Options: hydraulic jack, oak deck, winch plate. If you have any questions on this or any of our other trailers, feel free to give us a ring, 717-220-4220, or you can visit us on the web at www.bestchoicetrailers.com. Thanks for looking.